Good evening, it's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. Well, positive reactions coming to India's surprise zero emissions offer by 2070. India says it will be 50% renewable energy by 2030. The offer is based on scientific calculations, say Indian officials. 3 Lok Sabha, 30 Assembly results. The big winners, the BJP, Congress and Sena win one each in Lok Sabha by-elections. Big wins for the BJP in Assam and Madhya Pradesh, but for the Trinamool in West Bengal, a record sweep and margins. The Congress's surprise victory 4-4 in Himachal, 2-2 in Rajasthan, including a BJP seat. In Karnataka, one each. The Congress win in the Chief Minister's stronghold. That and all the big highlights. The income tax seizes 1,000 crore assets which they claim is linked to Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. Once again, central agencies versus Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister. The ex-Home Minister also arrested and sent to custody till the 6th. But Sharad Pawar's show of unity tweet with the Chief Minister inaugurating a project in Ajit Pawar's Baramati constituency. FICCI ex-SBI chief's current bankers back Pradeep Chaudhary. The ex-SBI chief was arrested in an alleged Rajasthan loan fraud. An alarming development says FICCI could undermine the resolve of bankers. He was arrested by the state police on complaints of the defaulters just before Diwali. The 7th straight day of petrol price hikes. Petrol is now over 110 rupees in Delhi. And Diwali celebrations begin in Ayodhya, but not just diyas, there's also a light and laser show. Our lead story tonight, a day after India's record commitments saying that we will be at zero emissions carbon neutral by 2070. Strong reactions coming in, positive reactions. Today also Prime Minister Modi was taking part in the Build Back Better for the World event, which is initiated by US President Joe Biden. He also held bilateral meetings with Israel, Nepal and Ukraine heads of state. Also meeting Bill Gates, discussing climate change and sustainable development. But our special focus on the Prime Minister's big commitments last night in his address at COP26.
2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
A headline statement unexpected from India, which has pushed back on net zero. Net zero means that by 2070, when carbon emitted into the atmosphere balances out with carbon removed from it.
India is not going to be pressurized, will not be pressurized and has never been pressurized in any way.
But it's the shorter-term pledges by the Prime Minister that are equally important. India will reach its non-fossil energy capacity to 500 gigawatts by 2030. 50% of energy generated by 2030 will be from renewables. There will be a reduction of carbon emissions by 1 billion tons from now till 2030. The first pledge of cut in absolute emission currently is at 2.5 billion tons per year. There will be a reduction in carbon intensity of its economy by less than 45% by 2030. That is up from its 2015 pledge. However, India will not be giving up on coal. In fact, coal capacity will increase according to the Power Minister, who shared an exclusive interview with NDTV. But its percentage share in the total supply will come down.
The coal capacity will not remain the same. The coal capacity will also increase. Right now, you would say that it's about 70%. By 2030, it will come down to, 30-35%.
India is seen to have bolstered its long-standing demand for a just and equitable climate deal, especially as the rich nations have historically emitted a lot more carbon than developing countries such as India. And that means coughing up the funds agreed upon a decade ago.
भारत की अपेक्षा है कि विकसित देश जल्द से जल्द $1 trillion का climate finance उपलब्ध कराएं.
There are mixed reactions to the Indian Prime Minister's national statement that was shared officially at the COP26 summit in Glasgow. Some believe that the target of 2070 for India to be able to achieve net zero is years away from the summit's original target. Some others who know India well believe that given its socio-economic concerns that already exist, this perhaps is a conservative but a realistic target. The Prime Minister has also spoken of a one-word movement called LIFE, Lifestyle for Environment, which perhaps indicates that he and his team of officials will try and motivate Indians and people all over to try and use small or big changes to take India towards its target. Radhika Iyer in Scotland, NDTV.
However, teen climate activist Greta Thunberg has accused world leaders of pretending to take environmental issues seriously, saying it's all about blah, blah, blah.
Inside COP, there are just politicians and people in power pretending to take our future seriously, pretending to take the present seriously of the people who are being affected already today by the climate crisis. Change is not going to come from inside there. That is not leadership. This is leadership. This is what leadership looks like.
Well, moving to the other big news, and that's, of course, the political headlines coming out of different states today with results for 3 Lok Sabha by-elections and 30 state by-elections. The big message, well, 3 of the 3 Lok Sabha seats, 1 each, the BJP, Congress and the Sena. The Congress winning the Himachal Mandi seat from the BJP. Also a major win for the Congress in Himachal, major win for the BJP and allies in the northeast. Major wins for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh as well, though they lost 1 scheduled caste seat, which is a bastion to the Congress. In Rajasthan, the Congress winning both seats, including a tribal seat from the BJP. West Bengal, the big headline really, the Trinamool winning 4 of 4 and with record margins, including 2 seats from the BJP. Sanket decodes these results.
So let's now talk about the big bypoll theory, the upsets and gains which have been decoded right here. Let's start with Himachal Pradesh, because this is a big upset for the Bharatiya Janata Party and a grand gain for the Congress. The Congress has won 3 Vidhan Sabha seats and the Mandi Lok Sabha seat, which has been won by Ms. Pratibha Singh, wife of former Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh. She has won this seat, which is the fortress or the very power corridor as far as the Chief Minister is concerned. Yes, this is Jairam Thakur's home turf that we are talking about. In fact, Anurag Thakur, the MIB, that is Minister of Information and Broadcasting, and the Chief Minister campaigned extensively for this poll. So this is a massive poll rout in the by-elections. The Congress hopes that this same performance can be replicated in the upcoming Punjab elections as well.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे नेतृत्व ने मिलकर के इस चुनाव को लड़ा है, लेकिन परिणाम हमारी आशा के अनुकूल नहीं रहे. कहां कमी रही उस पर काम करेंगे.
Let's now talk about West Bengal, where again it's a 4-on-4 for the Trinamool Congress. The BJP lost the 2 previously gains that were made, that is 2 seats. Dinhata, which is a seat which was won by the present Minister of State for Home, Nisit Pramanik, has also gone to the Trinamool Congress. The TMC is now saying that this basically means that Modi and Shah are defeatable. Then let's talk about Madhya Pradesh. This is a good story for the BJP, where 2 Vidhan Sabha seats have been won by the BJP. 1 has gone to the Congress, but the Khandwa Lok Sabha seat went to the BJP. This is being seen locally as a big boost to Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. And now for the massive win, the huge win in the northeast for the BJP and its alliance partners led by Himanta Biswa Sarma. 9 wins for BJP and its allies in the northeast. Most of those in Assam were turncoats who came from the Congress into the BJP, but they ended up winning. So this result is being seen as a shot in the arm for Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma. Let's talk about Rajasthan. Both Vidhan Sabha seats went to the Congress. The tribal seat which has been won is also being seen as Ashok Gehlot trying to consolidate his position. In Haryana, the BJP lost its deposit in Ellanabad. This is also the re-entry of INLD into the poll fray with a win for Abhay Chautala. And last but not the least, the story coming in from Bihar. It was being seen that perhaps the Lalu factor would tilt scales in favor of the RJD. However, that has not happened. The JDU's Nitish Kumar, who's already a minority partner in the government, has won both the seats, being seen as a big boost for Nitish Kumar.
Interestingly, the Shiv Sena also won its first Lok Sabha seat outside Maharashtra in Dadar and Nagar Haveli. The MP here, who was an independent, had died by suicide. His wife won the seat on a Shiv Sena ticket. Meanwhile, a quick look at other news. Well, the Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi and Navjot Singh Sidhu, the Congress State Union President, who have been sparring publicly, were today a show of unity at the Himalayan shrine of Kedarnath today, amid reports of unease between the leaders. But as of now, at least, photo opportunity-wise, they are there praying for divine blessings, presumably before state elections early next year. The other big political fight brewing is in Maharashtra, where the income tax has attached assets valued at over 1,000 crores, which the income tax claim is linked to the Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. This, as late last night, the former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh was also arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Today, a court sent him to custody till the 6th of November. So once again, it's central agencies versus the Maharashtra government. This, as the state Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray was in Ajit Pawar's constituency today, along with Ajit Pawar and Sharad Pawar, as a show of strength.
Double strike by central agencies on the Maha Alliance. Former State Home Minister Anil Deshmukh arrested shortly after midnight on charges of money laundering. On the same day, news of 1,000 crore worth properties linked to Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar seized by Income Tax Department.
Properties related to Ajit Pawar and his family valued at around 1,000 crore rupees have been attached by the Income Tax Department. This includes a resort in Goa, a flat in Delhi, a sugar mill, land parcels in Maharashtra, and a prime property in the iconic Nariman Point area of Mumbai.
The properties allegedly linked to Ajit Pawar are Jarandeshwar Sugar Factory, flat in South Delhi, office at Mumbai's iconic Nariman Point, a resort in Goa, 27 land parcels in Maharashtra. Anil Deshmukh faces charges of amassing extortion money when he was State Home Minister, charges he has denied. In its application, though, the ED said that Anil Deshmukh collected 4.70 crore bribes between December 2020 and February 2021. The key evidence is testimonies of tainted police officer Sachin Vaze, who claimed Deshmukh made him collect the bribes. Officials confirmed Sachin Vaze told them about the collection. He also received calls from Deshmukh's personal secretary. Deshmukh rotated the money via shell companies. But Deshmukh's lawyers questioned his arrest.
ED seek the custody for confrontation of certain documents, certain accounts and certain witnesses. In response to that, we told to the court that these all statement was recorded prior to 29 when the matter was pending before the High Court. Today they are not bringing anything fresh before the Honorable Court. Therefore, custody is not required.
After several hours of arguments, the court gave ED time till Saturday to question him. Amid the crackdown, Sharad Pawar tweeted this image of unity of him with Ajit Pawar and Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray at an event in Baramati, Pawar's bastion near Pune.
Anil Deshmukh has claimed that the allegations made by Parambir Singh, which triggered off this investigation, was made because he was removed from office for unforgivable lapses in the Ambani residence bomb scare probe. Meanwhile, both the Sena and the NCP, whose leaders have been facing action from central agencies like the Income Tax Department and the Enforcement Directorate, say that these central agencies are being misused by the BJP to target opposition parties in opposition-ruled states. In Mumbai, with camera person Rajendra Dhyalkar and Arvind Gunasekhar in New Delhi, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Also, senior bankers and industry association FICCI have protested the arrest of the ex-SBI chief Prateep Chaudhary, who 68 years old, was arrested in Delhi yesterday by the Rajasthan police in a 2010 loan default case. So after 11 years, FICCI issued a statement saying it's alarming and urged government that not to question legitimate decisions by bankers in hindsight. Also, Rajneesh Kumar, the ex-SBI chairman, said it's a misrepresentation of facts and singling out Mr. Chaudhary to seek publicity. SBI has defended the decision on this loan, saying that its factual inaccuracies, all due process followed. The defaulters in this case actually went to court against Prateep Chaudhary, accusing him of cheating and conspiracy in a hotel loan case where the Godawan Group had taken a 25 crore loan in 2007, then defaulted. The hotel promoters saying that the hotel was sold to an insolvency company, AARC, for 25 crores, and Mr. Chaudhary later joined the board of this company. Meanwhile, the CBI has filed a charge sheet against 6 people, including 2 serving Indian Navy commanders and 2 retired officers for allegedly passing on classified information on the refit of India's Kilo-class submarines which have been upgraded. NDTV has learned that the officers face charges under various sections of the Prevention of Corruption Act. In its charge sheet, the CBI says the 2 serving officers are passing on information to the 2 retired officers, one of whom had retired as a commodore. Sources indicate that a serving admiral is also being questioned in this case. So really a major scandal there for the Indian Navy in terms of these submarines. Well, it's Dhanteras, the days before Diwali, and petrol prices are continuing to surge to record levels for the 7th straight day. In Delhi, in fact, petrol prices are now over 110 rupees. Diesel prices didn't go up today for a change. But as we can see, petrol rates up not just in Delhi but across India. In Mumbai, it's now over 115 rupees. Diesel there is over 106. In Chennai, also petrol over 106 rupees. Diesel over 102. In Kolkata, 110 rupees again for petrol. Diesel also over 101. So as you can see, diesel really impacts inflation because, of course, trucks and vegetables as well. And just look at the price rise there for both petrol and diesel from Dussehra to Diwali. Clearly not festive times there. A quick look at the Sensex and Nifty numbers in the days before Diwali. Well, they declined, ending lower today on Dhanteras after they went up yesterday. The Sensex today falling by as much as 257 points. The Nifty also touching an intraday low, falling by over 40 points. Well, let's go across now to, well, what's trending also right now. And today, of course, is Dhanteras, at a time when economic recovery has picked up after a horrible second wave earlier this year in April and May. So what's happening this evening on Dhanteras in Delhi? It's over to Sonakshi.
It's the festival of Dhanteras, where women across households come out to buy a little bit of gold as a significance to mark Diwali and the onset of Diwali. I am at one such gold showroom here in the national capital at Kalyan Jewellers in the Southex market. Hi ma'am, you are here. It's festival of Dhanteras. What are you buying, and did you expect it to be so expensive or not so expensive this year?
Yeah, I am finding it a bit expensive.
Okay. कोविड की वजह से, कोरोना की वजह से बहुत माहौल जो है गंभीर था, स्थिति गंभीर थी पूरे साल, लेकिन लग रहा है कि लोग बाहर आ रहे हैं फाइनली.
हाँ, थोड़ा डर हटा के तो आना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो फिर घर में बैठ जाएंगे. कितने दिन डर के रहेंगे.
तो क्या सोने का भाव क्या तो बहुत महंगा है अभी इस बार?
नहीं, बहुत महंगा है अभी भी है.
लेकिन आप खरीद रहे, क्या खरीद रहे हैं आप?
अभी देख रहे हैं.
अच्छा.
बजट में होगा खरीदेंगे.
बजट में होगा तो खरीदेंगे, बिल्कुल. Families have stepped out together. This is a mark of the festivities, the festival time in the country. Diwali is in a couple of days. It is this week, and Dhanteras really marks the occasion of wellness and prosperity, and that's why the families are taking that small risk to come out, finally feeling the festive air, festival spirit in the air, and also saying goodbye to the gloom and the period of gloom that it had seen over the past few months in this year. With camera person Manu Nair, Sonakshi Chakravarti, NDTV.
And as we end the show tonight, let's also go across to Ayodhya, where the plan is to light 9 lakh diyas by the ghats of the Saryu River on Wednesday. That's just a day before Diwali. And tonight, this light and laser show.
Dress rehearsals in Ayodhya for major festivities on Wednesday, Choti Diwali. When Chief Minister Adityanath will lead an effort to light a record 9 lakh diyas or earthen lamps by the ghats of the Saryu River just months before the crucial state election in the town home to the under construction Ram Temple. A lot of the BJP's campaign for the UP polls is expected to center around the Ram Temple, whose foundation stone was laid by Prime Minister Modi and the UP Chief Minister a year ago. After the BJP came to power in UP in 2017, festivities a day before Diwali in Ayodhya have been an yearly affair.
9 लाख दीपक राम की पैड़ी घाट पे जलाए जाएंगे, तो इससे हम लोगों ने प्रयास किया है कि अंधकार को हम लोग प्रकाश की ओर ले जाएंगे और एक बेहतर भविष्य के लिए अयोध्या के लिए भी और बाकी प्रदेश के अन्य जनपदों के लिए, पूरे विश्व के लिए एक बेहतर भविष्य के निर्माण के लिए हम लोग प्रयास करेंगे.
There is heavy security in Ayodhya ahead of Wednesday's events, as Ayodhya gets ready for another round of big Diwali festivities. With Pramod Srivastav in Ayodhya, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.